Tales of a Grandmother. The Baby Camel of the Howling Sands by Claire Wang-Lee. Our writers group took a camel ride in the howling sand dunes in Dunhuang before dawn. We were told by the local guide the desert had not been howling regularly for a long time. It howled because of an army of 1,000 soldiers had mysteriously disappeared underneath these rolling dunes more than 1,000 years ago. The vanished horses still neighed at times. But they didn't this morning. Maybe too many tourists had chased the ghost sounds away. In the early morning, the sky was washed blue. The soft dunes sparkled in the rising sun. I did hear a faint sighing on the way down. It was the breeze brushing against the surface of the sand, and not from under. The bus was waiting. We had less than 20 minutes to buy some postcards or some local jade. I wanted to go back and take a snapshot of a baby camel that had come along with its mother during the trip. I rushed to the camels. They were all sitting down, their thick eyelids dropping. The baby camel nudged against his mother. Its eyes opened. My camera didn't work. I dropped it on the great wall, and it had become temperamental. Now again, it refused to click. The baby camel sensed my agitation. It jerked to stand up and stood on its little floppy pads. The bells on its neck made a tinkling sound. Unlike the bells on the grown-up camels, the bells were, I was told, the detecting tool for the leading camel, which earned its place to keep the procession in an orderly fashion and took instructions only from its owner, usually with a whack on the butt. I tried to move a little nearer to the baby camel. If only I'd touched his cheek or head, I would have wanted to bring it back to America with me. The owner came toward me, a cigarette dangling from the corner of his mouth. He smiled sheepishly. During the trip earlier, I had told him that smoking was bad for his health, and also making the ghost soldiers under the howling sand angry because it polluted the air. I wanted to take a picture of the baby camel. It's so adorable, but my camera is not working, I said. The man rubbed the back of the baby camel's neck with his big hand, yellowed by the cigarette smoking. The baby camel made a whine as he unfastened the bells, 2 little round hollow bells on faded retted string from around its neck, and gave them to me. I was overjoyed. "How much do I owe you?" I said. "Nothing," he said. He took the cigarette out of his mouth and stepped on it. The cigarette disappeared underneath the sand. I thanked him again. "Come back soon with your friend," he said. "I will. Remember, try not to smoke. I want to hear the horses and the soldiers under the sand." I waved him goodbye. The bells of the baby camel made a clear sound in my raised hand. When the whole tour ended, I flew to Taiwan to see my mother. She had always wanted to visit the Gobi Desert, where she had lost contact with my uncle. I left the bells of the baby camel with my mother.